Have you guys ever been to Café Rosa? They're located at 5842 South Archer, Chicago, Illinois. This is in the Garfield Ridge neighborhood on the southwest side of Chicago. Based on the sign here, this place has been open for 8 wonderful years. I recently went to another Puerto Rican restaurant that had opened up in Garfield Ridge, and a lot of people mentioned Café Rosa.
It's very hot.
The first thing I had to try, of course, was the Maduras. These were so hot I burned myself repeatedly. Totally worth it. They weren't overly sweet, but the char was really nice in them. Something I want to mention is that when I got the sampler plate, that's when we actually received our little plates for appetizers. For the Maduros, I was actually using a napkin. We arrived to the restaurant as soon as they opened, and it was empty when we got here. The first thing on the sampler plate that I tried was the Alcapurria. I've had a few before, but this texture was so different. Also, right after the appetizers arrived, our plate of food arrived. And as you can see, everything was super hot.
Alcapurria.
Now, here's the thing. I've had Alcapurria at many different restaurants, and I think for me, I'm just not a fan of it. With that, I'll say the texture was really cool. It was very soft and fluffy and not overly dry like others I've had before. And it was spiced well and filled with meat. Now this bacalao. Can I just mention, I don't like seafood at all. And when I found out that this was cod.
Oh, cod tortilla.
I kind of freaked out a little because I love this.
I would eat this for fun.
There was no idea in my mind that this had any kind of seafood element to it. I used the mayo ketchup and the spicy sauce, and they were really nice compliments to it.
I love this.
The next thing I tried was the papa relleno, which is a ground meat mixture inside of a potato and deep fried. I'll tell you 100%, I have a bias because I already know I love this food. But you know, different restaurants, different seasoning, and this was seasoned very well. And yes, I loved it. You see my happy little face here? The next thing I had was an empanada, and I can say easily the deep fried outside was wonderful and crisp, and the meat had a really good seasoning on it and was salted really well. At no point during my meal did I feel the need to add salt or seasoning or even the mayo ketchup or the salsa. Those were just nice compliments to everything I was eating, but the food didn't need anything extra added. Everything here could stand on its own very well. But I still used everything I had. And can you believe after all that food, there's still 2 more items I need to discuss here. But this is my disclaimer. I might be really biased.
Tostones. There's some kind of something on top. I don't know what it is.
What I think it was a garlic paste, and it was fantastic. Out of all the tostones I've had, these are my absolute favorite. Perfectly crisp outside and wonderful chew.
Carne frita.
I was not a fan of this. I'm not a huge fan of pork, but overall I couldn't get past the texture. It was fried really well though.
Carne guisada. Arroz con ganulas. Maduros. Peppers. This ketchup mayo, and a side salad.
And let's not forget the Coco Rico, which is now my all-time favorite soda. It's literally just coconut soda, and it's amazing. So something you need to know is that I actually ordered white rice and a side of beans. I didn't get that. I did want a side of arroz con gandules, so it doesn't matter. In my comments in a different video, people discussed the food at this restaurant. The arroz con gandules was probably one of my favorite rices I've ever had. It was perfectly seasoned and not dried out or overcooked. It was just a perfect solid rice. The carne guisada could have been a lot more tender. I found it to be a little bit chewier in texture, as I was expecting a softer stew type meat. But the seasoning itself was really good. The same thing went for the potato. I thought that it could have been cooked a little bit longer, but overall, everything I ate here was good, and I will happily go back here. This place is a little expensive, but dude, this is like home cooking, so it was totally worth it for me.